Girl Mel coming to you real quick. Listen, I wanted to leave y'all with a little nugget. A friend of mine texted me just a little while ago saying, Mel, are you going to mention anything about the Derrick Jaxn thing? If you have not seen it, if you have not heard, Derrick Jaxn, who is a very well-known relationship coach, author, YouTuber, influencer, and is very successful at what he does, he gives out a lot of, I think, valuable dating advice, specifically catering to women. That being said, he was just recently found out that he was cheating on his wife, or that he had cheated on his wife. And based on his wife's words, sounds like he has done it multiple times. One, I don't really care. The only reason why I'm responding at all and mentioning this at all is because one of my biggest issues with social media as a whole, and this is what I think people fail to understand, is that perspectives are shared based on the extent that people can see. Like, people give advice based on, again, their perspective. So that being said, one of the things that I started noticing is that a lot of people right now are trying to discredit everything that he's ever built, everything that he's ever said, every bit of advice he's ever given, strictly because everybody now, he's been put on blast that he cheated. And this is the thing. I learned this growing up since I was a teenager. If somebody is speaking truth, regardless of the mouth that it's coming out of, wisdom will tell you to receive the truth. You don't have to like the source it's coming from. You don't have to like the fact that he cheated on his wife. Listen, I say this all the time, specifically when it comes to relationships. They are too multifaceted. Relationships are so nuanced in so many ways. And so I say all of this to say, to me, listening to Derrick Jaxn give women advice about men, to me, I think is rooted in a lot of wisdom. I also believe that usually the person who has been the cheater can usually teach you about how the cheater acts, because they've been there before. I think they even say this in church, is a person can't take you to a place they've never been. And so to me, learning from someone who firsthand used to cheat, did cheat, that's probably the best advice you can ever get. Because they're going to tell you, if they're being honest, right? They're going to tell you how it looks. I could teach you about pastry because that's what I do. I've been here before. I've been doing it for 14 years, right? But if I was a brand new pastry chef and I haven't really gotten the experience, guess what? My information, my advice would be very limited. So I say all of that to say, listen, him cheating on his wife being willing to forgive him, his wife being willing to go through the ins and outs to make the relationship work, is really their decision. I don't care. As I said before, I don't personally care, but I did feel the need to point out the fact that people have to consider, just because you don't like the source does not mean the source is not speaking truth. Okay, so just because you don't like the source does not mean the source is not speaking truth. And unfortunately, we are living in a society where we really enjoy pointing fingers left and right just to validate ourselves, just to some way, somehow make ourselves feel a little better about ourselves and about our own mess. And so for me, like I said, that's between them. Honestly, if I was Derrick Jaxn, I wouldn't have came on here and said nothing. I wouldn't have said nothing. Same thing with the Kirk Franklin thing. I wouldn't have said nothing. For what? People are going to have their opinions anyway. So let them have it. Go handle your own house and home. And that's really what Derrick Jaxn, in my opinion, I feel like he should have just did that. Did your wife handle it? Well, then bet. You and your wife handled it. The rest of us don't matter. The rest of us, hello, how am I going to affect this man's life, her life, because we now know that he cheated on her? Finishing thoughts is, listen, y'all. We all need to elevate our thinking. We all need to stop being so quick to point the finger at the next person who messed up. Because at some point, guess what? You might just be put on blast about messing up and doing something ignorant. And please don't use this example, well, to whom much is given, much is required. We as human beings have given other human beings, especially human beings with titles and pulpits and platforms, we have given them way too much power. We should receive them as human. Meaning, if they fall short, well, guess what? That makes sense, because they're human. They're not God. They're not Jesus, right? If they, make a mistake, have a character flaw, guess what? We all do. We all do. So I hope you guys heard my heart. I hope this makes sense to y'all. I'm going to do an extended version with me and my girl at some point. I love you. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.